in at the hub, up Hamilton, our usual home of Formula One. And with me is, for the first time, we have a big panel. We have
Rukundo,
who happens to be a Formula One fan in general, but in court, Mercedes fan.
I have no.
Yes, please. We have
I am Francis Woji. I'm a Red Bull Verstappen stan.
Red Bull in conclusive.
Yeah, you're not anger. Verstappen, yeah. It's a second.
And finally, we have Dr.Mukanga with us. Doctor, welcome back on the panel.
Thank you.
You've been lost. We have had two with Rukundo and the Ferrari team person.
Yeah.
So we are here to welcome you from the Singapore. It's been quite a race. Personally, I find it boring. Why? Because I'm a Mercedes fan. I don't have to explain further to that. But I would want to get a few things from my fellow panelists on how they actually make of this race. Rukundo, what's your take on it?
Well, for me, this is my fourth best race of the season. That's after Bahrain, Jeddah, Silverstone, and now Singapore, because apart from all the superior racing that we saw in the other three, this was just drama, total drama.
There was drama.
Yes.
I don't think there was really that stiff competition of people overtaking each other. I didn't find it interesting. That's my view. So I don't know what makes it better of the other races.
Well, we have seen Max Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton make unbelievable mistakes. Yet we take them to be the drivers who are always on point and they're perfect. But now today we have seen them make the mistakes that we accept of what? Of Latifi. Yes.
Francis, what's your take?
I agree totally with Enoch, to be honest with you. Like Hamilton and Verstappen have been way off today. And honestly, but it was a fun race to watch. The DNFs made it a lot of fun, I would say. They made it they bring the field closer in a way. And then also I would say Norris was actually really good today. So in my opinion, he doesn't get the praise that he actually deserves. But he
kept his position.
He kept his position. Vettel was also amazing. His defense against Verstappen, Hamilton was elite. It was elite. It was a fun race to watch, to be frank.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Doctor, Team Mercedes, please give us
today. For me, the race was long. I mean, because of the weather conditions and so on. But I think I would agree with my colleagues here. I think it was the uncertainty brought there was quite a bit of uncertainty, brought some excitement there. I mean, six DNFs.
6 DNFs, those are crazy.
Alonso, I was quite impressed with Alonso and the way he was driving earlier on. Unfortunately, he was one of those six who didn't finish. But yeah, the unpredictability was just amazing. And Perez was really put in a good race today. I mean, the Ferrari is trying to go after him and just gave up. So overall was long and exhausting, but I think the uncertainty of the rain and all of that had some exciting elements in it.
Okay, when we began the race, or even before we began the race, we had predictions. We thought we had about top threes. People we thought could actually take the lead or be on the podium. Personally, I thought Hamilton would be on podium. I thought Perez or Charles would be on podium. Luckily, Perez and Charles have been on podium. But Perez is the driver of the day, but I think he deserved it. There's one driver since Monaco win that has been lagging behind, that has not actually proved that he can actually do better. But today, he's done quite a good job.
From turn one, yeah.
Rukundo had a prediction. I don't know whether it came to exactly what you thought it would have.
I said Lewis, Leclerc, and Sainz. Lewis had other plans. And Checo definitely also had other plans. But at least Leclerc and Sainz kept the P2 and the P3. Yeah, but for me, overall, I believe we have seen so many drivers, especially Lewis, undermine Checo. It's like Checo, but he has shown time and again, especially now with Red Bull, that when you need me, I will deliver. I may be having a poor run, but when you most definitely need to make it work, I will be there for the team. Because had he lost, or had he come P2 or P3, it would have been a sort of a blow to Red Bull. But he has shown that I'm there and I can put up a fight against a very talented driver like Leclerc.
Okay, Checo took Monaco. Monaco being a street circuit.
Yes.
Being one of the circuits where you can hardly overtake.
Yes.
Singapore, Marina Bay.
Yes.
I think is second to Monaco.
Yes.
You can hardly overtake.
Yes.
And then the weather also made it a plus that whoever tried to overtake in a weird corner went off the circuit
Yes.
and had to come back.
Yes.
That was Lewis himself went off, Max himself went off. There are very many others that actually went off.
Of course, like
So I would believe if Checo is in front of everyone and he has to play defensive, he will still end 60 or 70 laps or 80 laps still ahead.
Yeah.
Despite the safety cars we have had, the virtual safety cars we have had,
Yeah.
I think he can do a good defense. But when it comes to where there's an open line and someone has to overtake, the credibility there, he might actually lose it.
Yeah.
So wait for the remaining races to see how he can perform.
But I mean, Verstappen overtook quite a number of cars. Hey, quite a number of overtakes. There were a couple-
Okay.
So many.
Okay.
couple, maybe 5 or 6. You know, it was a couple of cars.
Ideally, I mean, that's all in like the talent of us.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. I was going to ask:
say-
is it the talent or is it the car?
It's
No,
just
I
that-
No, it's the cars he was overtaking.
He was overtaking, really.
Yes, look at the cars he overtook.
I mean,
Let's look at the cars he overtook.
Hamilton.
No, Hamilton made a mistake. That's
he
a
overtook
mistake.
him.
Yeah.
So-
But he overtook him because he made a mistake.
Okay.
I'm not
Truthfully,
accusing
Maybe
him
it's
of
caused by the pressure. You know, from the back.
Exactly.
Hamilton trying to overtake
Can I
Vettel.
just? He
No,
can't.
no.
This is.
Let's get it right. Hamilton
Okay.
was trying to overtake Vettel
Yeah.
and missed.
Yeah.
Actually locked and went off.
He
and
got
then-
greedy.
Yes, and then Max took off. But Max was taking almost those cars you can overtake.
No, but
no.
there are
Now let me
Apart
many
from
drivers
Vettel-
who fail to overtake.
Who?
And then even our good friend Hamilton.
Hamilton
was behind
failed to
a lot of
overtake
drivers.
Hamilton was behind Vettel.
Signs, actually, like from the
Vettel-
beginning. He got stuck behind Signs
And he was.
and he
there.
kept
And
complaining
who took
that
over Sainz? No one has overtaken Sainz.
no one did.
Exactly. Vettel. Hamilton was behind Vettel.
Yeah.
And he failed.
And he failed to overtake him.
But Verstappen did.
Verstappen, I think, did
Verstappen
the
was
last-
behind Alonso. He failed. Then with Vettel, he finally made his move stick, but it was after the
The safety car.
yes,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
like
yeah,
he
yeah.
had to really time the delta and know that anytime it is going to release. Yeah.
Because green I take off.
And when he tried it now with Lando Norris, he mistimed
He
it.
mistimed it. Yes, he did.
He went through, then realized, oh, it's
gone
not.
over.
Yes, you know,
So it was a tight race.
too tight.
But those that overtook, the cars that they overtook, you could also see that you can overtake.
I mean, ideally, yeah, but like you said, this track was not for overtaking.
Yeah.
Like you
You
said.
just maintain pace
Yeah.
and maintain your position.
I mean, Perez,
But it also-
I think the most important overtake was Perez at turn 1. Like, once he got that, it was over.
Once he was in front, that was
It
it.
was done.
that was it.
It was done.
And then also, look at it. At turn 1, the first, the second, the third, and the fourth car were in those positions for 31 laps. No one had changed position until a safety car came in. And then things went a bit, people went for pit and all that.
But then, on the other hand, I would blame the strategies too, because when Russell had begun to pick with the mediums, all these other teams waited. They were like, maybe it's a bluff. Then he does like a second lap. Then they thought, they're like, oh, now they're actually working. Now we need to pick these people. But, and then also, like if you look at the previous races, Singapore, you have to be within a second or half a second behind your opponent. Vettel, 2019, when Leclerc was leading, he waited until the perfect time. Then they called him into the pits.
They called who?
Vettel
Charles.
came in first. So by the time now they're calling Leclerc on the next lap, Vettel has done a very nice outlap and is now ahead of his teammate.
The undercut is powerful.
Yes,
there.
it's very powerful, but no one used it today. Yes.
Probably because of the weather, the surface was.
Yeah, I mean, you go. I mean, they won the intermediate for 30 laps.
Okay, even though, but
You go in, you still put an intermediate. So
honestly,
guys were like gambling. They
Yeah.
were not sure.
Yeah.
And like that with Russell, you saw how like those first few laps with him were.
technically speaking, these cars are supposed to make close following. And we saw Leclerc a quite number of times be within a second and a half, 2 seconds behind Checo. But we don't know, either he lost it or
I think he just gave up.
Yes.
And it went to 4 seconds.
you know. Now
Just tried it
look at the
and-
very end when they tell him you need to be at least 5 seconds behind Checo. And by the end of the race now they are 7 seconds.
Yeah.
We don't really, like, you can't really put something to it.
Me, I think because he tried almost from inception of the race and realized he's not taking it. He just, because Sainz, who was behind 13 seconds.
13 seconds.
13, 14 seconds. So he knew, even if I put a gap of about 3 or 4, I'm
It's
still
okay.
in a safe
Were
zone.
they both on the mediums at the end?
Yes, they were.
Perez and Leclerc.
Yes, they were.
They were both on the
But also, it has a message to show, because I've had so many Ferrari fans say, oh, Sainz can beat Leclerc, Sainz is this, Sainz is what.
That gap was huge.
But now, like, it shows, like, something like, by the way,
I think Leclerc is a better driver. All factors
constant.
compared to Sainz.
He's far much better driver, I think, than actually Sainz.
Yeah.
Keeping it in mind that Sainz was under pressure from Hamilton, but still the gap was just
Exactly.
increasing.
Exactly.
The gap kept on increasing.
Exactly.
So really,
One could also say like the Red Bull today, like the car was just like really like in its form, like from the beginning.
for Checo's car.
You have Checo's car, because I think they had the same reaction time, right? But for some reason he just picked up like really fast, and like once he was going. Like you couldn't even when the DRS came in, if you remember, he tried as much as he could, but the Minister of Defense, of course,
He was still there.
you know,
He still maintained.
Yeah.
Now this season, whether we like it or not, happens to be Max's season. Which race do you see him take the championship? We have 5 races to go. It was supposed to be today, but today has not happened. Somehow, I think I would wish that it still goes up to like maybe the last 2 races. Why? Because
As a Mercedes fan.
not that it's going to come to Mercedes.
No, obviously
No,
not,
it's
but
going to keep
to make
the
it-
vibe and the
yeah.
hype of the races all through. Because if Max, imagine, had taken the championship today, it would be a bore of the resting 5 seasons.
I mean,
The 5 races that we have, it would be really a bore. But
Well, the constructors will still be trying to, see who finishes above the other.
yes,
Mercedes.
But of course, it takes out the spark.
takes out the spark.
Of course,
So
but that happens, I would say. I remember Mercedes have dominated for the last 8 years, right? There were times where Hamilton would win races like 4, 5 races ahead, and he goes and chills, and then I think there was this I think 2020.
it was 2020 when he took
2020.
it.
Yeah, and then he decided, like, there's a race, I think Chadwick Boseman died.
Yeah,
That was Turkey.
Yeah, and he decided to go mad. He was 30 seconds ahead of anyone else on the grid, and then comes out very emotional. That's the Wakanda Forever.
even 2020 season when Hamilton took it,
Yeah,
I think he took it 4 races to the end.
Yeah.
The immediate one after him taking the championship, he didn't race.
He got COVID.
Yes,
Yeah,
he didn't race.
He got COVID.
But he could have got it. Why he could have got it?
I mean, okay,
You see?
so
He didn't race. So really, I think I would wish we see competition up to the last 2 races.
Yeah, but it's
So even-
unlikely. don't know.
No, with today's results, a lot has changed.
Yeah.
Because now Perez has 25, this one has 18, but Max has come up with about 6 points. That is going to change the man. So even if he wins the next season, the next race, which is Japan, still doesn't guarantee his championship.
I need to check the numbers, but I
Yes.
think it might.
Because this has completely changed, and that's why I was wishing he could remain in the off-point zone. What was not with me today?
I mean, it's not. But there's a discussion we've been having. Like to make like the field a bit more fair, right? Make the cars a bit like at least have the same power output. Ideally, it would make it a bit more exciting. If you come to think about it, like I get it's not a competition of only, let's say,
The best.
the drivers. It's also an engineering competition. You can make a better car, but then of course they try to put a budget cap and all that, but still, like it's like Red Bull is like way faster than, let's say, a Haas, right?
Yeah.
And it's so like Fernando Alonso had suggested it, of course, but it's not that simple to change.
It can't happen. It can
But
never happen.
engineering is also part of the competition.
It is.
If your
It is.
engineers are very good, it begins from actually the engine you bring out.
Yeah, but then
Then the driver you have.
Well-
Then how everything gets assembled.
the money as well. Mercedes, I think, took a very, very good gamble at the beginning of the hybrid era. They created an engine that no one else could, and then they injected so much money. Toto Wolff, I would say, is someone I admire when it comes to thinking ahead. That's strategic thinking, and he pulled that off. And you have almost 10 years of dominance from that team. They have created a god in Lewis Hamilton. You know.
I wouldn't call it the engine because last year, 2021, in Hungary,
Yeah.
when Max got hit to the sides and he found it so hard to overtake Mick Schumacher for about 6 laps. It shows you how the aero is also important. Yeah, you might have the engine because every now and then the Red Bull technical team say that W13 has something in it, but it has failed to deliver.
Again, wishful thinking, you know. It's just, like we want to see someone like Latifi try
He's going to waste the resources.
That we have in communication.
No, I mean the engines, but they've tried to limit the horsepower of the engines and so on. But I think there are engineering tricks in there in terms of the performance of the engine.
Yes.
And then, as you said, the aerodynamics. Red Bull has always been very good with the aerodynamics. So
This car, I would rank it to the 2020 W11.
the Red Bull car.
The Red Bull car.
This RB18,
Yeah.
I would call it similar to the W11 of Mercedes 2020,
In
where
terms of output.
Lewis was unmatched in that car. Now you have Max in this car. He's unmatched. Perfect combination.
Yeah.
The right car and the right driver. While the others,
I wanted to pose a question to Dr. We had, there's something coming up, something to do with the budget cap. For Red Bull, there is investigation going on. Should Red Bull be found guilty? Does that affect the championship, the constructors' championship, the drivers' championship, or it affects other things?
I don't know what the rules say, but this is for last year, right? They are saying they exceeded the cap for last year. Honestly,
Is it for last year or this year?
it's this year.
It's for this year.
This year.
Yeah.
Is it this year?
Yeah, this year.
Honestly, to take away the title from the driver who has won, I don't know. I think maybe, I don't know what the rules say, but for me it would be, if you have exceeded by 10 million, whatever as they say, maybe the next season, you know,
You're off budget
they
for 10
penalize you maybe by double that amount or something like that. But
I think did they do something similar to Ferrari? To Ferrari, like with when they had the fuel injection issue. The next seasons were just really
Ferrari had a disclosed agreement with the FIA during that time, and people went wild. Every team said no, we need to see. What did you discuss secretly that you can't tell us?
Yeah.
You know? Of course, he's right. If someone has won and then you say no, you have not won because you exceeded budget, and moreover, at the very end of the season, it gets quite hard to explain to people, to the other fans who are the majority, who know nothing of such. All they do is come and watch. Now you're trying to explain to them that, you see, these guys exceeded how much money they were supposed to use. So now we are you know. So I think he's right, you know. You should just find a better way to penalize them. And like the way Barney Eccleston said it, let them spend. Someone is going to run into losses and wake up and say, you know what? I'm actually doing nothing here. Yeah. Then you will learn how to spend right. Yes. Because you can't spend over $500,000 for over 10 seasons and claim that I am making money.
No gains.
Yeah. There'll be no gains.
But you know, some of these companies,
It's not even about profit making.
like Red Bull, for them, they are advertising
promoting.
their drink. So they can afford to make losses of $30-40 million a year on the car because they recover it from the drink.
Yes. So really, it's not about.
While Haas has nothing to sell.
That Gunther Steiner, they sell him.
Unless you take him advertise Gonja products or something.
By the
Some teams can afford to lose 10-20 million every year.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now I get the point.
Yes. So really,
So that's why they have to cap. Guys have deep
There have to
pockets.
be
Guys
rules,
have deep
yeah.
pockets.
Exactly. To make it a bit more fair.
Guys
Yeah.
have deep pockets.
But
now, like the driver who won today, Red Bull doesn't pay his salary. The Mexican billionaire pays his salary.
yeah, he's not paying salary to
all
Checo.
of that is money in the pocket. You know.
And that, I think, just that, I don't think it is very well known to the F1 fan world.
No, they don't.
They don't know that.
They don't.
But that would be that, like a fan can be that influential in the kind of driver you're supposed to have in a specific team, as long as he can allow to pay.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's why do you think a Chinese driver is in there?
Exactly.
Because he's terrifically good. There are commercial considerations here. So, you know, if 1.4 billion people in China start watching Formula One,
We saw
That's good business for them.
With the Russian billionaire.
Russia.
The Russian billionaire with us, Mazepin. Yeah,
Mazepin.
Nikita.
Yeah, Nikita.
Mazepin, yeah.
His dad owned as it was injecting money. It was
Yeah.
Urakali or something like that. And one of the conditions was
He must
My son
he
drive.
must drive.
Yeah.
You know. So
Anyway,
Wow.
parting shot, Francis.
yes.
We are going to Japan like next weekend. How do you see us faring?
Fair. I'm not good at predictions. I'm sorry, but I would love, as a Red Bull fan, I would love to see my boy win because that's why he entered the sport. Yeah. Toros, that's why he entered. He got his first race. So I mean, it would be, kind of poetic, poetic justice, something like that, something beautiful like that. So if he does, I don't know the numbers yet. Maybe Leclerc has to end like in 10th without a fastest lap or something like that. But yeah.
We shall see what it takes there.
Well, for me, this opens up a lot, especially on Red Bull. They have kept Max Verstappen in this bubble. It was all going perfect until today. There are so many questions on their table. From qualification, him going on solo fuel, box, Warden is angry, and today he had the perfect opportunity to at least touch the title. Now here we are, and the tables have turned. Who knows what could happen in Japan? Because it's literally like Monaco and Singapore too. Whereby, if you get in front, that's it. Even on the side of Mercedes, So many questions are there. Lewis, what went wrong?
Yeah.
In Japan, I would see Max doing a comeback, but most likely for a podium. Yeah, don't go too fast now. Do it like Lewis, like in those years. When he was about to win the championship, he would go for podium finishes. Safe and sound. Yeah.
Taking risks. Like,
Yes.
crazy.
Yes, doctor, your batting shot.
Well, I mean, it was good for me. Japan, I think Max is just the package is too good. I think he'll take Japan. He'll take Japan.
I think we'll take Japan.
I think he'll take Japan. We have Leclerc maybe podium. Yeah, but I would still put my money on Max. The package is too good to compete for this season.
Thank you, guys.
Mercedes will regroup for next season.
Thank you guys for the post analysis. As a Mercedes fan, I would still want to emphasize that Lewis still has a race to win. I thought today would have been the maiden race. Please, let's not argue about it. I thought today would have been the maiden race, but he didn't have it in plan. We still have 5 more races to go. I would bet on it, but I don't want to bet with any of these guys here.
But amen, yes, a race.
Any of you fans who is ready to bet with me, please come. We shall bet on it. Otherwise, thank you so much. Let's catch up with Japan race. Good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.